no longer optional. It is very much essential to this edition of Women and Leadership Shines lights on parents of women as transformative leaders driving change from their homes to the highest level of policy making. This program calls on parents, government, civil society, activists, and even more to embrace new models of collaboration where the family, schools, state work as one to nurture confident, capable, and Christian learners. We explore how empowering women, supporting families, and rethinking education all together can shape a stronger and more resilient generation. The program is Women and Leadership on Canal D International. Empowering girls, women, and communities is essential because it unlocks their potential, driving social, economic, and cultural progress. When women and girls have access to education, healthcare, and leadership opportunities, they contribute to stronger families, build stronger economies. And today we are going to be we focus on parents' innovative education. If you have missed any of our past editions, you just need to go to our YouTube page. You type Canal D International, you type Women and Leadership, you type the thematic of the day, and you can watch all our past editions. And let the conversation begins just after this. Like in our past editions, we've always invited the right women for the thematic of that day. And I would like to begin with the person that is very close to my left. She's called Dr. Helmine Fortabe. She is founder and board chair of Fortabe University, Cameroon, a leading institution renowned for merging global knowledge with African-centered approaches to education. She has been at the forefront of transforming higher education, not only in Cameroon, Africa, and even beyond. She is a social entrepreneur, educator, and advocate for employability and entrepreneurship. Dr. Helmine Fortabe is right here with us. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be
At least
here.
you're a regular face on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, I want to start by asking you that you have initiated a lot of projects, a lot of programs, especially in the education sector. Now, what are those programs that you have initiated that when you look back, you are satisfied that at least you have been recognized for what you've done, not only education in Cameroon, Africa as a whole?
Thank you very much again for having me. Today we are talking innovative education. The first thing I want to say is that education which is innovative is education which is relevant. And most of the things we've done, we've looked at relevance. One of the things we need to note about relevance is that people have different passions, people have different aspirations, people have different personalities, and we all have to look at the changing needs of the environment, but we also have to look at what people are passionate about. So 3 things we have always done. We have first recognized the fact that not everyone can be an entrepreneur. So we have created programs for entrepreneurs, but also for intrapreneurs, and of course for people who are called upon to engage in trade, international trade, local trade. So when I look back, I think that we've been able to have a lot of recognition because we are tackling these 3 segments of society and making sure that our innovation is tailored towards those 3 segments.
One of the reasons why you founded Fortabe University in Cameroon?
Oh, well, there are needs. There is always the issue of
in the midst of a multitude, because we have a lot of people around.
Sure. A lot of people who are also doing amazing things, I have to say that. But we think that there's always this issue of the skills gap. Whether someone wants to be an entrepreneur or wants to be an intrapreneur, that is to be employed to work for someone else, or wants to engage in trade, there are always the issues we see around skills gap. Okay. What the market needs at that time and the kind of skills that most of the schools are producing. Okay. So we think that that is where the focus should be. We look at the changing times, we look at the trends, and we train young people to acquire those skills that can meet those needs.
We'll talk about that in the course of the program. I just want to say this is coming on the eve of back to school, because you have schools in Cameroon that will be resuming in September, universities, institutions for higher learning in the month of October. I equally have Lucy Eta Abate. She is Secretary General of the Association for the Promotion of Decent Work for Girls. Girls, I emphasize on girls. Tell us more about this association.
Okay, ASPRODEC, which is the Association for the Promotion of Decent Work for Women and Girls, was created to help women become financially independent through decent work.
Okay. By doing what exactly? What have you done to the girls?
Okay.
How have you made them self-reliant?
Okay. So far we offer training on entrepreneurship, on leadership, and then we also have mentorship where we work with older experienced women to help these women to be able to balance work life, family life, and we also have a scheme to help these women raise money to be able to start small businesses, which will have a Jangi scheme, which goal is to help them to raise capital to start
And it's a very big problematic because we have a lot of women out there who want to do business but don't know how to go about it. They need even people who can even help mentor them. They can start with 5,000 francs, you grow to 10,000 and even 50. How to even manage the funds, the capital, it's a really big problem. And how many women have you successfully groomed up to now?
I can say that plus 500 women because ASPRODEC has been existing practically for 10 years now.
All right, so you've groomed at least 500 women, and grooming at least 500 women means you've been able to implant at least 500 women across Cameroon with different forms of trade, right?
Yes,
and you're
we
proud
have
of
done
that.
Very proud of that.
We equally have Dr. Tako Ronald Tako. He is a lecturer in finance and accounting and data analytic expert, let me put it that way. But it's the first time I'm having a man on this platform, but I know that women are partners to men. There's no way that a woman can do something without involving a man. It starts even from the family. And I would like to find out, what do you think about the curriculum of most schools, beginning from nursery up to the university? Is the curriculum a problem in Cameroon today?
Okay, thank you very much. First, I want to say that I feel privileged to be the first man to do this program.
Okay.
My personal opinion usually has been that the curriculum itself is not really where the problem is.
Okay.
The problem has always been in the way the information has been transferred to the learner.
Okay.
So the idea behind learning is that young people, girls and women, are supposed to acquire practical skills that can enable them to be able to find jobs, decent jobs, after they graduate from school. Okay. So the problem really is not with the curriculum, but the delivery of the material to the
all right, we will link it up to the innovative education when we are talking about our thematic of today. I equally have Patience Antongmo. I would say she is a lecturer, but she's talking here as a mother. And we're welcome to the program, Patience.
Thank you, Maureen, for giving me the opportunity to join you on this day to talk about educating the girl child.
Okay.
As a mother, I think the girl child's education is complex and perplex. Looking at the side of a girl child coming into learning, the parent is not just a sponsor to a girl child's education, but he stands in as the mentor. Mentoring your children into their education is what parents should do now. In these our days, parents have left their own part of the triangle of education just to schools and the child. Whereas we have this triangle that goes to parent, school, and child for the education of a child.
I want to look at it. A lot of parents have abandoned everything to schools. It's like schools have to just do everything. Mothers have abandoned their role in the family. We'll talk about that. Patience, back to school. Are you feeling the pinch already?
Eventually, the days
The
are
economic
going,
hardship is
the days are going by, but the finance is not coming along with it. The days are just going like so fast, and we are seeing September just at the corner, whereas we have a whole lot to do before we get there.
Things getting very expensive in markets, and the price is skyrocketing.
That's it. And the more we wait and hoping for a positive explosion, we're waiting that God will send us a favor.
All right.
We are hoping that will make it possible for our children to be
And
back
some
to
mothers
school.
always have their strategies. They'll have their small jangis. They have some, they rely on the banks. some have their small astuce, some have their small economy. Let me put it that they have been saving somewhere so that this time people are breaking jangis now, eh? You're tongue-tin or whatsoever. This is the period. All right.
School jangi.
Okay. And before we get into today's conversation, I'd like us to watch this report. It paints a picture on parents' innovative education, how it is implemented at the level of Cameroon and beyond, applied challenges. Let's watch it right back just after the jingle.
13-year-old Ren Nina has never entered the four walls of a school. Born with a disability that prevents her from speaking and controlling her hands, she was denied access to classrooms from her school age, worsened by torture from other children as she earned bruises on face. At times, she's called Snake Child.
C'est les choses que nous on n'encourage pas parce que une femme qui tombe enceinte n'aimerait jamais accoucher un enfant qui a des problèmes.
Just a few streets away, another story shows both progress and uncertainty. Michelle Andrea recently earned her first school living certificate, a major achievement for her and her family. Yet, as she looks ahead to secondary school, uncertainty looms in the air.
Nous sommes confrontés sur le terrain à un problème.
We are confronted by the problem of double school fees. Schools asking us to pay more than the normal children.
Les autres enfants normaux.
To change these narratives, therefore, for 2 days running, members of the network of journalists, doctors and experts dedicated in the prevention of disabilities and promotion of social inclusion had embarked on a door-to-door campaign, meeting families raising children with disabilities. Their message is unwavering. Inclusive education is not charity, it is a right. The idea is to get more children with disabilities to go to school this academic year. Parents, however, insist that true inclusion requires more than words. They are calling for concrete support from public authorities to ensure their children can learn and dream on equal footing with others. I would love to see her attend a school where she will be trained to become better in future, to advise those in the same situation.
Nous attendons encore
We are waiting on the powers that be who have started this move to extend it to private schools, also for proper follow-up. On the eve of the 2025-2026 academic year, their hopes take the form of a simple prayer that their children's dream will unfold in bright colors, far from the margins where society too often seeks to confine them.
Innovative parenting education involves adopting contemporary methods to engage parents in their children's education. This includes interactive learning workshops, technology integration, community engagement, personalized support, enhanced understanding of child development, improved communication skills, increased confidence, stronger parent-teacher partnership, positive role modeling, and a lot more. Research indicates that when parents are actively involved in their children's education, academic performance improves, attendance increases, behavioral issues decrease, and we have higher graduation rates. To effectively adopt innovative parenting, experts say schools should offer accessible programs and resources tailored to diverse family needs. Communities can support by providing platforms for parental collaboration and sharing best practices, and parents are encouraged to actively participate in educational activities and seek continuous learning opportunities. By embracing innovative parenting education, parents become empowered partners in their children's academic journeys, leading to enriched learning experiences and improved outcomes. Now, before we get into diagnosing today's thematic, which is parents' innovative education, I'd like to ask the first question to Dr. Ermine Afotabe. Now, when you look at Cameroon's education system, do you think it's archaic? I know a lot of people have been saying it's been there for long, we need reforms, we need these, and parents too have been at the forefront saying what we are saying right now.
Well, thank you. I love this discussion about the education system. It's a very interesting conversation. But it's impossible to say that a system is archaic.
Okay.
Because especially in this case, the education system is an ensemble of elements.
A lot of people are involved.
Yes, not just people, but also all other elements like institutions, like policies, like stakeholders and resources. So we cannot start saying that, for example, stakeholders are cake. We cannot say that, or are outdated. But I think that the real issue is about how the stakeholders exploit the other aspects of the system, like the policies, like the resources. And so if you ask me about that, I would say that we have to focus a lot more on the stakeholders, not because we think that they are outdated, but because we think that they have to embrace and take ownership of their roles.
All right, Dr. Tako, parents often blame government, society, when a child fails.
Yes, but
have you had that observation?
Yes, I mean, everybody says it. Each time they make an attack on the education system, everybody feels like the problem is
they
with
just
the
think that
government.
it just suffice to send a child to school and that's it, not knowing that there's a lot of things to do to accompany that child.
And the government is doing a lot already.
Okay.
Curriculum revisions. The government is updating the curriculum every time so that it matches world standards. And I continue to insist that the government alone, just like Dr. Fotabe has highlighted, cannot do this on their own.
So where is the problem?
The problem lies with the parents, the students, and the institutions that are delivering what the government has put in place through policies and the curriculum. These three groups have to work together to ensure that the education that their children get is exactly what the country or the economy needs. If there's a disconnect between these aspects, it's not going to work. So parents need to know exactly what to ask for from a school. So if I'm sending my child to go to the university, I have to understand, how is my child going to study? Who is going to teach my child? How will the delivery be done? Students also themselves are supposed to understand by the time they're leaving high school, what is it exactly that I'm looking for in a job? What am I passionate about? This passion that I have, is it really relevant today? If it isn't relevant, then I have to choose. So if the schools, the parents, the students, they work like this in synergy, they are going to make the work of the government much lighter.
All right, now I want to go to Lucy. You're a parent as well. Now, where is the role of the parents in this innovative education system that we're talking about? Because we are trying to innovate, we are trying to see how you follow up your kids. And I'm very happy about this topic because a lot of parents will want to learn how to follow up their kids, how to really ensure that their kids come out to be better citizens tomorrow.
Okay. The first thing I would like to say is that most of the time parents are concerned about certificates, like they are concerned about my child having the best result and all of that, but they don't think about what will happen to the child after the education. So I think that parents need to start from the beginning, even before they enroll.
Where is the beginning?
The beginning is maybe after the child graduates, probably from high school, trying to understand who the child really is and which particular career is going to match with the child. And then after that, look at the institution that will give the child exactly what the child needs in order to pursue the career that they think this is a particular career that can match with my child's personality.
Don't you think the beginning should start from the nursery school?
Yes.
Because if the child does not have a good foundation, what happens? Because I think it starts with the foundation. Doctor, I'm coming to you.
Well, I think we can say that it should start from nursery school, but I think that that's too early to really understand who the child is and where the child is going to. It takes a lot. Even at times, adults don't know who they are. So it takes a lot of experience and so many things to know who you really are and this is what you want. So as early as nursery school, it's too early for the child to know that this is who I am, these are my values, this is my personality, and all of that.
But you start inculcating those values in the child, patience. Do you agree with me?
Really, I will agree with you on that, because as the child begins to develop himself, it's the right time to give the child the right directives. You cannot be bringing up an art student and expecting to have a doctor at the end of the day. The base of education is what matters more. We begin at the university level, the child is already going like for specialization, whereas at the secondary and primary level, you develop the love of a career in the child, and you see if this child can cope with these competencies. Bringing in that we are moving in the competence-based approach of education. When we are talking about competence-based approach, we are bringing out the child to be a problem solver, no more to be a knowledge stalker.
The child cannot be a problem solver alone. How their children cannot even identify their problems.
When they talk of education, competence-based approach of education, we are talking about an approach where the child solves a problem, no more just looking for X. You're just now looking for an X that can permit you to bring a solution to maybe a gravity problem. So this X is no more this X and A and the B's we're looking for in mathematics. You now bring it, contextualize it, and it becomes a problem-solving situation. And today we are talking about education at the level of artificial intelligence. It's going further.
That's another perspective. Let the parents even understand the basics before they get to artificial intelligence, because that's another problematic on its own. I'll get back to you. I want to get to Dr. Emin Fotabe. Now, how do we define parents' innovative education?
Well,
because it's a good concept,
yes,
but a lot of people will not understand what it's all about, especially mothers, because I always like to talk to mothers, because I know mothers are the foundation of everything. They're at home, they're the one molding children, taking care of their children, and that's why I'm talking to mothers particularly.
So this is a concept that has three concepts: parents, innovation, and education. These are three. Parents, now we've been discussing so far the role of the parents. The parent has to have information about how to groom their children. That's the first. Now, but let's talk about the innovation. Another word, very easy word for innovation, is new. So something new. Something that was
something new.
Something new.
Okay.
And then there is education. So innovative education, it means a new way of looking at education. And this new way of looking at education still goes back to the education system. You remember before I talked about the system having policies, having resources, right? Having stakeholders. But let's look at innovation in terms of the resources. Now we're looking at the tools. Dr. Tako said what matters is how the curriculum is implemented, how knowledge is transferred. Now, how do we transfer knowledge? At the level of secondary education these days, we hear the government talking about smart boards, right? Where you don't need to use chalk, you can just write on the screen. And now that's a new way of transmitting knowledge. But it doesn't end at the level of just boards or computers in classrooms. The most important thing is the mindset.
Okay.
Now we want to transmit, take this curriculum and implement in our young learners at every level. How do we do that? We need to be able to rethink the way we talk to them, what we focus on, how we get them to learn concepts, not just telling, because until now, especially at the university level, what people usually do is to tell. What we are doing right now is telling. So we are explaining. But now we are moving to a new way of doing it, which is putting the learner at the center of that education.
All right.
This is a problem. I tell you that you can solve it like this, but you have to go and think of the best way to solve it using all the tools, resources that I have put at your disposal. This is the innovation that we are talking about. Education, we know that it's about making sure that people can learn. And there's a lot to learn, but that education cannot be innovative if we do not think about the changing times.
Okay.
I went to school, I had advanced level in the year 2000. The things that mattered then do not matter now.
Okay.
A lot
of things have changed.
A lot. And today I cannot teach my students the way I was taught. It's not going to be innovative. I have to be using the current tools, using current techniques, understanding that this is a new generation. They are not in my generation.
Okay.
They have their own problems, they have their own shortcomings, they have their own passions. I have to adapt, keep adapting. That is what innovative education is. So as a parent, the first thing that you have to think about is what is new in what this school is doing. If this
You're
school
going to make choices for the child, right?
If this school is doing it the way they did it to us, then it's not innovative. When we were growing up, we knew that if you entered a classroom and they had 1,000 students, it means that school is doing something right. That's why they have attracted 1,000.
Yeah, that's not the case today.
But it shouldn't even be. The case today is that we are looking at ratio. Student-teacher ratio. I alone, I am a teacher, but I cannot teach 1,000 students effectively because I need to understand the needs of each of my students. I need to be able to understand their strengths and their weaknesses and help them to tailor their passions to something that makes sense. If I have 1,000 students in class, it cannot work.
And you'll be at the forefront of this innovative education because you recently organized a workshop for Tabe University, organized a workshop with trying to guide parents on how to go about this. Now, what were you trying what message we're trying to give out to parents? Because I know there are very archaic parents out there, parents who don't even want to learn. There are parents who, put their children first. Even when the school complains about a child, even when the school comes to complain about a girl child, the parents like, no, it's not my child. That's not how. They don't even believe in the school. So now, what message? What are you trying to tell parents? How do you intend to even change the mindset of parents here?
The first thing I want to tell parents is that this is your child, and I hope and I know that as a parent you want to see your child succeed. Then the schools have teachers who have the responsibility to mold those children. So let the teachers do their work. That's the first thing. But then, as you're letting the teachers do their work, ask the right questions. Because, and I say this again, ask the right questions. Because who teaches your child is as important as what your child is learning. So Dr. Tako says the government has given us the curriculum. Now is the transmission. If I am transmitting just the theory and she is transmitting the practice, then she's doing better. Now, as a parent, you need to ask the right question.
All right.
Who is teaching my child? How is this person teaching my child? What's the experience of this person? Especially, what are the values? Because we have a lot of people today who have forgotten about values.
I'm sure what you're saying is that those are the criteria that parents should put in place before you're making a choice for your children's education.
Which means that they have to know the teachers.
Yes, you should know the teacher. You should even know your child too.
Of course.
You should know the limits of your child, because if you know your problems of your child, you'll be able to explain to the school, my child has this problem.
Yes.
And each time you're doing follow-up. Now, I want to get to Dr. Tako. Today we're talking about entrepreneurship. Do you think schools today teach in such a way that they create children's mindsets? They make them to have that creative mindset that when they leave school, they can have jobs on their own, especially girls.
Thank you very much for that. The reality of the matter is that schools countrywide are not really doing much when it comes to entrepreneurship. It is now a part of the curriculum. So students study it in a classroom. But my observation is that you don't see schools getting students' hands dirty. A few schools are trying. If you watch programs online and on the TV, you see a few schools really trying to do something. But how do you really teach a child to become an entrepreneur if throughout their study process, they themselves do not do anything in entrepreneurship? So it's like training somebody to be a carpenter and teaching them carpentry just inside the classroom. After that, they will not be able to do even a simple bench. So schools are supposed to
fishing in Norway.
Exactly. Exactly.
We learned that in history, right? I cannot forget that. And then today in universities we have what they call professionalism. And then you see a lot of schools, especially higher institutions of higher learning, even in the secondary schools, they bring experts, banking experts, or let me say maritime experts. They bring them to schools, talk to children, and try to make them have that appetite to become what they are seeing on the people they are seeing. Do you think that practice can, change that concept from theory and really bring that practical side of it, of learning?
Yes, that's that kind of experience where we bring people who are already professional in the field can really help students to nurture a desire for that profession. It can help them to set that as a goal. But now we have to take that a step further. For example, how do I become a banker if during my time in the university I never really worked for any bank? Maybe I did a one-month internship, but that's not enough. I need to practically work for a bank for at least a year or two, so that when I graduate, I have the experience that can accompany the knowledge I have acquired to say, okay, now I can have a job. Banks can listen to me when I'm talking during interviews. How do I train someone to become an accountant? And throughout the person's 3-year education in accounting, the person really never worked anywhere as an accountant. That's not possible. So schools have to adopt models where the students are forced to practice that profession at least for a year or two throughout their 3-year bachelor's degree education.
All right, thank you so much. I'm getting to Lucy. I want us to talk about the girl child, because my focus is on how we have a lot of girls who don't even end up, they don't finish university. I see them, they are lost in life. How should these girls at the level of, when they're completed, maybe have their certificates at the level of the advanced level, how can you move them so that they have something creative that can make them earn a living?
Okay, I think it will take us back to mentorship. These girls need mentorship. What is happening in our world today is that most of the time, as a woman, we believe that probably the end is marriage. So surprisingly enough, these girls, they are looking at getting married or looking for a guy that can take care of them. But I think that it is high time we let these girls understand that it is their responsibility to take care of themselves once they are adults. It's not their parents, their brothers, or a man.
Now, what type of trade does ASPRODEC? What do you focus on?
Okay, we help women at all levels. Now, there are certain girls who have not received formal education that will do things as basic as teaching them how to fry gari, how to do makeup, and then we have...
Which can also help them.
Yes, which
and a living.
At the end of the day is to help them become financially independent.
Okay.
And then we have some other ladies like teenage mothers who have had some sort of formal education, but because of one or two things of life, they had to stop. This we do provide scholarship for them to further their education.
So it means you do encourage girls who go to school, but inside their handbags they have lipsticks, they have small perfumes that they sell around campus to their mates, at least help them. Is
that's the goal. The goal is to help them make money, to help them obtain jobs decently.
All right. Patience, where is the role? Where do you situate the role of mothers here? Because it's like mothers are completely lost when it comes to innovative education.
Mothers cannot be lost because you need to be some way to be able to take someone somewhere. Bringing in that you are the lead, you are the mentor, you are the first mentor to your child. What type of education did you give your girl child will matter to what she becomes tomorrow. And educating a girl child, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of closeness, and a lot of love for the child to bring out the her in her. Bringing it that the parent should always mold the child to have love for things, love for the society, love for fellow humans. The mother in innovating education is that person that needs to learn as fast as the daughter is learning, because you need to go ahead of her. If not, she's going to take 2 steps ahead of you, and there you will be, maybe she goes astray and you think she's taking the right way. Today, our children are working on digitalization in schools. The mother should know how to use the tool the student is using, so that this student don't play the fast one on us. Most of the times we find ourselves with our children at home, they'll come and tell us, oh mom, I need your phone to do my homework. Like, if you are too busy, you have to say, okay, let me get the phone for you. And the child takes the phone and get into other things. The social media is so large. The new technology is so broad that the children will be lost even if they are not well mentored. So you have to be the mother that will say, okay, your assignment, are you going to Google? Are you going to use whatever you are using to do your research without any publicity on that? You have to know yourself what your child is using your phone to do. Today we have a lot of mothers working, coming back tired, and the child will just use the smart one on them by saying, oh, can I use your phone? And the child takes your phone, he's not learning.
All right.
And he's not doing what you want the child to do.
You need close follow-up, because a lot of things, children are very smart, especially girls. She can be there, she's doing other things, you don't even know what's happening. You behave, I mean, she can be so quiet. You see a girl child is so quiet in her bedroom, check her well. You need to check again, double check. Something should be happening.
Yes, Maureen. I would just want to give an example here that when your child takes the phone to study at night, the child will study the whole night. But if you're guiding that child or following up the studies, before 10 p.m. the child will tell you she's tired, she wants to sleep. But if you just give her the phone with the internet connection, even at 1 a.m. when you get up to eat yourself, you find that child still studying. That child is not learning. She's exploring the internet.
All right. We equally sampled the opinion of some parents on the streets of Douala in the West region and in the northern regions of Cameroon to ask about the techniques they are using in following, educating their children and ensure that their children are better citizens tomorrow, ensure that they succeed in what they are doing. Let's watch. We'll be right back just after the jingle.
In their 5 years relationship, they've parted ways 30 times. And this, he says, is because of her infidelity, his own side of the story. Quarrels, fights, and battering their way of life.
Elle nie alors qu'il y a l'épreuve.
So too the change of neighborhoods, buildings, and so on. Once she's not around, he is not himself. It's like a bond.
Quand elle part, je me retrouve très mal à l'aise. Je suis obligé d'appeler et demander pardon.
The incident of last August 19, a case that ended fatal. He took his said wife out, and while drinking, he asked her about the suspected neighbor boyfriend. Her denial amplified his anger.
Ce jour, j'ai toujours frappé comme je frappe souvent. Mais c'est parti très loin, jusqu'à qu'elle n'est plus revenue à la vie.
Then came the determination to end it all. He went to the said neighbor, inviting him for a drink, and after many bottles, while on their way home, they moved into action.
Aux environs de 22 heures, dans un bosquet, il a
Around
assommé
10
ce
p.m.,
dernier
going
avec
home
un coup
around
de
a
marteau.
bush, he hit the other man with a
dernier est
hammer.
tombé.
He fell and went off. Thinking he is dead, he dragged and left him by the roadside.
Et il a mis à côté de la bordure de route.
Satisfied, he then took off for Ebebda, Lekki division of the Central Region, for refuge. As fate would have it, he is the very one who called the landlady announcing the lifeless body inside a basin in his room. After the neighbor has recovered, pronouncing him as actor of his situation. Informed, the Gendarmerie Brigade of Soa signaled those of Ebebda, and the said actor was caught. He was brought back to Ebang in the outskirts of Yaoundé to replay the heinous crime.
Maintenant, je regrette très profondément. Je me dis même peut-être que c'est un rêve.
His narration, one without any remorse, as he replays the steps, stages, like a good actor on stage.
On ne le connaissait pas dans la famille. On l'avait seulement
Not
vu
known by
une
the
seule
family,
fois, le
I have
jour
seen
du
him
deuil de
once, the
notre
funeral
papa,
of our late
qui était
father,
décédé le
last
14
October 4th,
octobre
2024, a
2024.
troublemaker that
Et
came
quand il
with
était même
problems on
venu
the day
là-bas,
of
il a semé
burial.
les troubles le jour du deuil.
The said murderer, an attempted murderer, is now in gendarme custody, is to face justice in accordance with the law in place.
Welcome back. We have two women, a younger one and an older one, joining us here in the studio. The younger one is called Ake Mariana, a student, right?
Yes, madam.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I hope you're not stressed up.
No, I'm not.
So tell me, right, as a girl child, what do you want for yourself?
Okay, it's a very important question. I would like to explain this based on my experience so far. Growing up as a girl child and as a Muslim, I always listen to my parents and be like, they want me to be in the medical field. And I followed that path back then, and I had to venture into biochemistry in the University of Buea. But I left the University of Buea without achieving what I wanted. I did not know my personality. I did not know what skills I wanted, and I had to forgo that program and rethink and see what field is best for me based on my skills, on my personality.
So after going through the other ones, you had to still change.
Yes, I had to change to find something
You
that
had
is
how many
suitable.
certificates? How old are you even?
I am 24.
You're 24. How many certificates you have? You have
I'm currently having, plus the HND will make it 2.
okay.
So
I see one more.
yes, of course, I want more. Because ever since I actually discovered who I am, back then I did not have intentions of running a master's program, but now, if the opportunity is there, I will proceed with it till the end. Because I have finally found out who I am, what I want to be, and the career I want. I am Ake Mariam, and I am that girl who loves to talk, who loves who is very sociable, who loves to interact with people, and I discovered the kind of career that matches with who I am.
And what career matches to who you are?
Corporate communication.
Corporate communication. Okay, that's a good one. And then what about a skill? Don't you want to learn something that you can do nails, or I'm seeing a lot of girls doing that so that you can have some money?
Yes.
To help yourself?
I have skills I actually developed on my own. I didn't go before someone to learn. I am a henna artist. What these Muslims draw on the skin as temporal tattoos. I do makeup. I also do content creation on social media, and also I teach English online. So
okay, that's good. At least you're making your your time very useful. But you don't want to get married now. I ask those type of questions because you why I'm asking, because you're a Muslim girl. And when I see you, it makes me happy, because a lot of Muslim parents will think that at the age of 10, they should get into marriage. It's a practice that is still on.
Yeah.
We can't deny that.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
if they say, oh, what your parents told you at the age of 10 or 15 to get married? What would have happened to you, to your career?
I'm not sure I would have been where I am right now. And maybe I would have been a mother of around 5 if they had told me back then. But it's true that the urge is there to be married because it falls in line with the Islamic ethics. But I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate for marriage. If it comes, okay.
It's coming, right?
Yes. I'm a beautiful girl, so it has to come.
We equally have Acha Annie Miranda Ipus Eyong. She is the founder of Elimji Educate a Foundation. How are you doing, Miranda?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom.
No stress, okay? I'm seeing you bubbling inside. Now, tell us more about your association. What's it all about?
The Elimji Educate Foundation is a non-profit organization that is dedicated to empowering the underprivileged children in Cameroon and in Africa through education. So we provide educational support, educational resources, and opportunities to the underprivileged children to enable them access quality education and to build a brighter future.
Now, what type of education do you give them?
Well, we offer scholarships to the less privileged children to go back to school. We equally empower them a lot on skills acquisition. Because
what type of skills? How do you empower them?
We bring them together from time to time and train them on the production of liquid soap, on the production of Vaseline, petroleum jelly.
Okay.
We've trained them on the production of how do I call it again?
Let's just move on. Yeah, I know a lot. You're doing a lot of
stuff,
things.
Yes. So we train them on these things. We train children from 3 years
For
and
free?
above.
You have
For free.
IDPs too, right?
Yes, we do have IDPs.
So how
as
many
well.
have you trained so far?
We've trained more than 300 because our organization has existed for 3 years and we do a lot of skills acquisition.
All right, that's good enough. Now, where do you place innovative education in what you're doing?
We try to alert parents to say when we do this skills acquisition, actually, it is not really for them to carry these things to the market. It is to create that awareness to say you can start thinking in this direction. You know, and we try to let parents understand that they can actually guide children in this direction. You can actually discover that my daughter or my son loves to produce soap, and then probably you send them or you come back to the Elimji Educate Foundation to say, please guide this child in this path in a way that they can be able to earn a living from this.
Now, at the level of your institution, Doctor, what innovative approach have you used there that transforms completely the mindset of the children so that when they go out there, because it's about creating economies today, it's about building wealth, it's about ensuring that when children don't have just a certificate, beyond the certificate, they should have something to offer in society. Doc.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, innovative education is a new way of thinking education. And this new way of thinking education is to move away from what we've always known, which is just theory, to now doing practice. And so what we have done is to develop models. We are always developing new models. If anybody is following Fortabe University of Cameroon, then you would have noticed that every other academic year our models are changing. We have the key model which we developed. It's called the Beespreneurship model. This model is actually to train all the 3 segments of the economy that I mentioned before: entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, and trade. Now what we do is, if you come around our campus, you will hear our students saying that I'm the CEO of this firm.
Okay.
Or I am the COO of that. You find that they already start assuming responsibility. So they actually do this hands-on. We have on-campus firms, we have startups, so they provide cross services. And so all our students go through that program.
All right.
And it helps to give them that experience. But we also have one which I'm very passionate about for the trade, which is the apprenticeship model. I grew up with Nigerians and I've seen how through the apprenticeship they have created wealth. They have developed a lot of millionaires. And we do that. So our students practically spend a lot of time learning trade from Igbo people in the market, hands-on. They do the work, so that they learn the inside out of trade, where to source for products, how much you price, how to treat customers. And that is really where the difference is made, because the students do not leave with just the head knowledge, which we do very well, but they have something. So all the students, if you meet all our students, they are either employed, they are doing a small business, or they use their skills, those skills they learn in leadership to do other things that put food on their table.
Now, Lucy, how does mentorship comes as a pillar of societal development?
Okay, we all know that mentorship is when a more experienced person is helping a less experienced person by teaching them, advising them, and showing them the right path. Now, one thing is to learn something, another thing is to see somebody who has done it, another thing is to have somebody who will tell you that this is how it's supposed to be done, and then also follow you up to ensure that you actually do it. And that's why mentorship is very important, because a mentor will show you the path, a mentor will guide you, and a mentor will follow you up to ensure that you practice whatever they are trying to mentor you on.
And how do you bring the children? How do you do the follow-up? Because it's good to mentor. Do you just mentor and end there, or you have follow-up?
Okay, it's actually a program that has a period of time, usually 3 months for Aspodec mentorship. And there is a guide prepared by Aspodec, which help to guide the mentor and the mentee, a report that the mentor would provide regularly to help us track the mentorship. And the great thing about it is that if your mentorship program is successful, then your mentee should be able to mentor another person at the end of the mentorship program.
All right, thank you so much. And to Mariana, right? Now, you want to be a CEO. CEO of what? Just tell us your dreams.
The dreams are too big.
No, just start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Very briefly.
I remember back then my HND 2 years at FUNIC, where I was made CEO of the marketing and trade firm.
Wow.
So it really took my shoulders up, and I was like, this is good. Because there we actually put into practice what we've learned in the classroom. Firms are created, enterprises are created, startups are created, and being under the marketing department, we have to be able to drive sales. And we create our social media content for the various firms and enterprises, try to get customers out there. So with this role, it is really very important, because even if I am not yet working for a company, for my own business too, it's going to help me manage.
So how did you feel?
I felt like a boss because I had my colleagues, and I don't know.
You had your office and you had colleagues coming to you asking you, making major decisions, and
yes, before they want to agree to something, they'll be like, Mariama, what should we do? What should
you had the final say?
Yes, I had the final say. So when we sit and collaborate, we bring out the ideas. Then they will turn to me, what should we do at the end? I say, okay, let's implement, and we proceed.
All right. Now, what is your message to young girls watching you right now? I want you to look at the camera. Talk to young girls that are watching. What are you telling them? Because I have a lot of them that are out there who think that, life is so easy. They want to use the easiest means. Right? Yeah. You're on the internet. You're everywhere. Right? I don't want to say it here, but you know. So talk to them.
All right. To every young girl, especially the Muslim community, because people believe we are backward, and I actually take this as an initiative to use this opportunity to let you all know that your dreams are not hidden. You should actually explore whatever opportunity you have before time runs out. If you have the zeal, the will to go to school, and you can't have access to education, get to people who actually can link you to others who can have access to education. And if you have this education, maximize it. We have cell phones today. You shouldn't just use it for TikTok. There are free online courses. People actually involve into it, and they learn and acquire certificates that will boost their CVs. Tomorrow when they get interviewed and going through their CVs, they see that they actually have experience in something, and then they pick up a job. So once you have these opportunities before you, make sure you grab it and maximize the use before you pass out.
Mariana, I already love you. I've already fallen in love with you. Thank you. Thank you for talking to the girl child. Thank you for talking to the Muslim girl. I'm sure your message has gone through, but you're going out. Patience is gaining back. That she should give her final word. You go out very quietly. And I want to ask Miranda, Now, what do you think mothers should do at this point in time? Because schools are starting, in order to better follow up their children and have better results.
Talk to their children first of all and know exactly what their children like and guide them in that path. And guide them in the right path. So if you know for sure that your daughter or your son is good at this, you try to encourage them in that area. For example, if a child goes to school, or maybe a technical school student goes to school and he is trained on how to probably make a chair. When he makes a chair in school, they can tell him, you know, this chair is worth 5,000 francs in the market. When he comes home with it, you as a mother, you look at it and like, oh, this chair is very nice. It's worth 5,000 francs in the market. And the child is looking at it and thinking that it's so easy to get at 5,000. As a mother, send that child to the market to sell that chair. When they go out there to sell that chair, they will gather another experience of their own.
All right.
I think it is at that point where the lesson in class is completed.
All right. Thank you so much. Lucy, you're going to look at your camera. You're talking to a woman out there. You're sending a message to the girl child. I don't know who you're talking to, but I know you'll be changing mindsets. So you're looking at your camera and you're talking.
Okay. What I would like to tell girls is that as women, we can become many things. You can be a wife, you can be a student, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a mother. Don't limit yourself, don't limit your dreams. Dream as a woman and work hard to accomplish that dream, and don't let the fact that you are a woman limit you from aspiring, from dreaming, and from accomplishing everything you want to accomplish.
Thank you so much. Patience, you're looking at your camera the other way. You're talking to a girl child, you're talking to a woman, you want to transform society.
Women have the power to change, and with our new society of looking up to the woman is giving us a new opportunity to bring new things in our environment. Women have the power to do and undo, and let's not limit ourselves to failure because thinking of gender inequality. Today in our world, we are fighting and striving for gender equality, and we are looking forward to making the girl child as important in our society as every other person.
All right, Miranda, you're looking at the camera the other way in front of you. You're talking to a girl child, you're talking to a woman out there. I don't know who you're talking to. Just say it out.
I would like to say every woman out there should have confidence in themselves. They can be whatever they want to be. Let them believe in themselves and everything will be fine.
All right, I'm ending with Dr. Elmin for Tabe. Your camera is right in front of you. Powerhouse, power woman, you have the floor.
Thank you. Every mother out there, education is an investment. Invest wisely. Don't say when you get to the bridge you will cross it. Now is the time to ask the right questions, to choose the right schools for your kids. Not because their buildings are tall and the colors are attractive, or because they make much noise, but because you know that they have what it takes to give your child innovative education.